Yeah, how you all doing out there in YouTube land? This Stiletto coming at you from the Wild Wild West. Well, got an unboxing today. I think you guys, some of you guys might actually know what this might be. And it's coming from Midway. Midway, USA. Midway, USA. Let's get the unboxing. Doing the unboxing today is nice to went to work with me today. My 80-20.5 with the Demco carbon fiber scales. These are the Demco carbon fiber scales. My little 80-20.5. This is the one that used to have, was all stock with just the bearings with the Griv-Ex scales. And after, you know, knowing about John Demco and knowing how he makes the scales, I wanted to put these on this one, the one that I actually carry a lot. So now both of the ones I like to carry a lot, the Jade G10 one and the carbon, this one with the carbon fiber, both of them had the black blades and black hardware, and the black Lynch Northwest pocket clips are my two favorites. Both of them have Oz 10 blades. I sort of like having the stainless steel blade for my pocket knife, to tell you the truth, because I never have to worry about rusting if I sweat or something. And it's been a sweaty summer. But I carry my D2 8020S model, the one, both the aluminum one and the one John Demco refurbished for me. I've been carrying those constantly. And I haven't had any problems with the D2. And I've had some real sweaty days, you know, where got real sweaty and stuff like that. And so I know there had to be moisture, you know, that probably get into the blades. And they held up just fine. Now, I absolutely love these. These are the best. I think these are the most awesome little knives that you can get. For 3-inch blades, this one rules to me, in my opinion. And all of you that own these, you know what I'm talking about. These are awesome. But anyway, let's get the unboxing. All right. Let's see how we're gonna do it. I don't want to cut the box. Midway sealed it up really well. Cold steel. Anytime, anywhere. Cold steel. We're gonna put this, let's get it out the way over here. All right. Yes, I had to get another one. Yes. Why? I don't know. I just had to get it. I just had to get it. I just thought having 2 of these would be super badass. I think I played too much Skyrim, but I think I'm going to be double wielding something. Awesome. And this is going to be one that stays out too. Both of these in my other ones I have are going to be staying out. So I'm going to pull everything all out. Save the boxer. I always save boxers. Just in case I want to sell something down the road, but these are probably going to be users and get all beaten up and stuff. See, one thing that's cool about being 40-34 steel and only costing $80 at Midway is that I'm not afraid to take this one out and abuse it. And if it breaks, it breaks. You know, if it's something that happens to it, it happens to it. It's not like it costs $200 or $300 or something. But you know, $100, you know, $80 is like near $100, so that's still a lot of money. I'm not saying it's not expensive. You know, it's not cheap. Let's put it that way. It's not just not cheap. But I think for a knife this size, it is kind of cheap. This is awesome. Just as cool as my other one. Let's check out the edge real quick. This is the 12-inch Warcraft. They have them on sale at Midway USA right now. I'm pretty sure they still have them on sale, and you can still get one for $79.99 or $79.95 or $99, something like that. It's got German corrupt stainless steel, 40-34 stainless steel. Just as sharp as the other one. Love it. Love it. Love it. And it's straight too. Let's see the other one. Let's see the old one. Now I'm calling it the old one. It's not even that old. It's a week old or something like that. Let's take about the sheaths. This one I took took this part off the sheath because I'm gonna figure out a different setup for it. I think I'm gonna set it up for like to be carried behind the back. I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet. I'll probably be doing the same thing with this one. Have this one maybe going the opposite way. One from each side out the back. I don't know. It's like, I don't know, it's just fun. Sometimes you gotta do things just because they're fun. You know what I mean? And these knives are fun to me. I like them. 12-inch blade. I'm gonna set all this stuff out the way. 12-inch blades. Like I said, German Krupp 4034 stainless steel. It's 5 millimeters thick. It's a saber hollow grind. The saber, you got the flat up here, halfway through the blade, and then it's hollow ground. It's got a beautiful stone wash. The tip is a flat grind on both sides. It's not a chisel grind, it's a flat grind on both sides. 5 millimeters thick, hollow ground. These are awesome. This one, I took one of the viewers' advice. I think it was the Jersey knife guy that told me about this. And go get some what do you call it? Tennis racket tape or grip tape. I have it right here. The stuff I use. I got it at Big 5 Sporting Goods. Big 5 is like right next to where I live. That's why I went to Big 5. Walmart's further away. He told me to go to Walmart. I just went to Big 5, what was more convenient for me. And I wrapped the handle. And now, I got grip. It doesn't feel like it's slipping around in my hand. This knife would be awesome too. It'd be like it could be like a machete. I mean, it could be doing all sorts of big things, I think. I think this steel is tough, like a 420J or 420HC. Those are the other tough stainless steels that I think would be okay to have a blade this long, because 420 is super tough. Either whether it be 420J or 420HC, both of those are super tough steels too for stainless steels. Like I was saying before, if you're gonna have a big long, self-defense knife or a camp knife made out of stainless steel, I don't suggest getting like a CPM S35VN or something like that, or a steel like that, a powdered steel. I would that is tempered at a higher temper and be more likely to snap if you upon impact or something like that. I'd rather have a steel that's a little bit more impact resistant for a long blade like this. Because using long blades like this, you don't use them for fine cutting chores and stuff like that anyway, right? I wouldn't. I would use a lot smaller knife. It'd be a lot easier to use and handle and manage when you're cutting things, like opening up boxes. This would be kind of ridiculous opening up boxes and stuff, you know what I'm saying? So those are the kind of knives that I think, where you need to have where you have the better steels that actually pays off. But also remember this too, like all the steels that we're calling budget steels nowadays, like D2 and I don't know, a lot of the steels are ending up being on budget blades that have been around for a while. D2 used to be the premium steel. It was the steel that all the custom knife makers used to use, 20 years ago. It was like a highly sought after steel before the powdered steels came out. And now it's a budget steel. My only point is that all the steels that everybody's getting all snobbish about and thinks are so super and stuff like that, and that they just got to have them. All these new powdered steels and stuff like that. There's tons of them. They're always coming out with a new one. But when it comes down to it, just about all these new steels are great, and they all hold the edge a lot better than the older steels from back when I first started collecting knives, and when And 420J was a great steel, or 420AC was a great steel, or 440C was considered a great steel. And Oz 8 was considered a great steel too, and so was VG1. ATS 34 and 154CM, those were all great steels. And Benchmade used to like to use 440C, D2, and they used to have this other steel that they used to like to use on the hard use pocket knives. It was called M2 speed steel, which is pretty much like M4 now. But my point is that all those steels now are considered budget steels. And those were all the premium steels back in the day. You know, not too long ago, 20, 30 years ago, that's what I'm talking about. When I first started really getting into collecting knives. And all the best knives had those steels on them. The same type of steels that we call budget steels nowadays. And they all cut. And they all held decent edges. So what does that tell you? You know, sure, these super steels hold, you know, a much better edge, but how good of an edge do you really need sometimes? You know, let's be truthful with ourselves. Are we going to be going around, you know, having to do something that requires a knife to do 200 cuts in a day or something, or whatever? I don't. My knives, you know, most of them have the original edges on them, and they're still sharp. Because I just basically just use them for opening up boxes and packages and mail and light chores in the garage, like, you know, maybe cutting a fuel line or something for a motorcycle or something like that. But I don't go around looking for things for me to do with my blades. I just use them when I need to use them. I use most of mine get used the most for food prep. And I carry them for self-defense, but I never, you know, I've never had to use them for self-defense. It's just an option. It's just an option, you know, just for, you know, because I believe in always hoping for the best, but always being prepared for the worst. So I just like having those options in case something terrible does happen. I'm not going to be the person not being able to defend myself. But anyway, let's get back into these. I absolutely love these people. For $79.95, I think this is a steal. I think it's a really good deal. I think it's one of the better deals that Cold Steel's had, you know, I mean, that I've seen for a Cold Steel product in a long time. Now this one, I sort of want to get, you know, different grips, so, because you know me, I like things that look really nice, and to me, this doesn't look really nice, but I do like the way it feels. Maybe it's just because I like the way the Cray-X or the rubberized handles feel on big knives, because they make me feel, they give me a lot of confidence in the grip. Because with a big knife that's blade heavy, you really need to have a good grip, because if you don't, the knife, I think, can fly out your hand. You know, it's easy to lose the grip and the knife fly out your hand. That's my personal opinion. So I think it's even more, it's like with this grip, to me it feels, I love the shape of the grip, don't get me wrong, and I think if it's just made out of a different material, this would be a great grip. And it's sort of, and I found out when I wrapped this one that you can't wrap the forward part because it won't fit inside the sheath. So you have to sort of put it inside the sheath and then wrap it, because you don't want it to interfere with how it, you know, sits in the sheath. Let me see if I can show you what I'm talking about. Always let the blade spine right upon the spine or the back side of this sheath, so you don't mess up your edge. Let's see if you can see that. I start wrapping right here and then wrapped around here. The first time I wrapped it, I started right here on the handle, not thinking about how it's going to fit in the sheath. And I wrapped it, and then I went to go put it in the sheath and it wouldn't fit right. And so I unwrapped it and rewrapped it. And the second time I wrapped it, I put the knife in, actually put it in the handle, and then I wrapped it from there. So that way it fits in the sheath. But I'm not big on the way it looks, though, because I'd rather have it come to at least like right here. I don't know. I'm kind of finicky like that. If somebody comes out with some better handles, I will get better handles. I really would like to see some micarta handles. But they have to be pretty much the exact same size as these handles. They can't be like a different size. This part, maybe you can have more of a swell or something like that, but the part that fits into the sheath has to be made the exact same shape as this one. But I really like this knife. I really like it, people. I really like it. It's one of my better buys I think I've purchased from Cold Steel in this past year. I think this is one of the better buys. My other two big blades, because I've only got, now I have 4 big blades. When I say big blades, I mean 12-inch blades. My other two are these two. And this one is the CPM 3V. This is a 3V one. There's a little bit of grease on it. I always keep a little bit of grease on it. Even though, 3V is supposed to be like D2, it's supposed to be semi-stainless. Hollow ground blade with a flat ground tip. This is also a Saber hollow ground. The same with the flat ground tip. The blade's just not as wide as the Warcraft blade. 5 inch. It's also 5 millimeters thick. Now this handle I absolutely love. I love the material of this handle because I wish this handle had felt like this handle. Because this one's like, it's perfect right out the box. You don't have to do anything to it. It's perfect right out the box. That's that one. And my other one, remember I told you guys I had 2 of these. This is the Sam May one. You have one Sam May and one 3V. They're both made exactly the same way. It's just the steels are different. This one's a sandwiched blade with 420J on the outer layers and VG10 on the inner layer. This is Sam Mai. I always say Sam May. Excuse me, people. I always say Sam May. That's Sam Mai. VG10 Sam Mai. That's Japanese 420J steel on the outer layers, and that's for the strength. That's what I was telling you about 420. It's a super strong steel. That's why they're using it on this. The VG10 is a more brittle steel, but it's known for being a better edge holding steel. So that's why the inner layers is that steel. If you made the entire blade out of it, it might snap upon impact. That's why you put the 420J steel on the outer layers. Absolutely love it. I love the Sam Mai blades. I think they're awesome. Because that's the way, to me, that's the best way probably to make a long stainless steel blade if you want to have a blade that's going to be a good edge holding blade, is to do it in Sam Mai. But if you just want a brute, just use a what we call a budget now. But 20 years, 30 years ago it wasn't budget, but nowadays it's budget. But I don't remember 4034, so I don't know if this steel was developed to be a budget steel. I don't know what the story is behind this steel, but I think the 4116 was considered a really good steel at one time too. The German corrupt 4116. But I don't remember 4034. 4034 is a recent thing for me as far as my knowledge of it. But when I read up on it, it said that it doesn't hold a good edge. 4116 holds a better edge than this does, but it's supposed to be tough, which means it'd probably be good steel for a self-defense knife. Because most of your swords and things are made out of spring steel, which is not a great edge-holding steel, but it's tough. And that's what you want if you're going to have a really long blade. You want something that's not going to snap upon impact. So it has to be tough. Toughness is desired over, sharp edge holding abilities. You don't want to be on the battlefield with your blade back in the day, back in the sword fighting days, and have your blade snap on you because that was your weapon. That was your primary weapon. So they learn how to make things tough. But anyway, there they are, people. Absolutely love them. These are all 4 of my 12-inch blades. These are all my biggest blades, my biggest fixed blades, my longest fixed blades. I have a lot of them that are like 7 inches and 9 inches, and a few that are like 5 inches. Well, the smallest one I have is my is the 4-inch, the 4-inch, what do you call it, the SE4. That's the smallest one I have, I think. Oh, well, I do have some neck knives and things like that, which are even smaller. I'm talking about, like, you know, hip knives, or knives that you would carry on the outside in a hip or whatever. The smallest one I think is the SC, and then the EK, I think that has a 5-inch blade, or 4.5-inch blade. I think it's a little bit bigger than 4 inches. I can't remember exactly. I can't remember. It might be the same size as the SC. But most of my fixed blades are, you know, fall into like the combat category. And most of them, you know, like are from at least 6 inches to like 9.5 inches or somewhere around there. That's where the majority of them lie. And I only have these 4 that are bigger than that. And the reason why is that, I don't know if you ever hold these big long knives, unless it's one like this, one of these cold steel knives, they don't feel very light in the hand to me. They start to feel really heavy and clunky. Like, you know, like you, if you were in an actual fight or something, you wouldn't be able to, you know, move super fast with them. This knife you can move super fast with. I think this is probably one of the best 12-inch blade knives that I know of that I've ever held in my hand, because it's still got a 5 millimeter thick blade. This one's 3V, so it's super tough. And cold steel always has good tempering on their blades. So you pretty much guarantee to have a good blade, something that's not going to snap on you. And I love both of these, whether you get the Sam May or the 3V. They're both awesome. The Sam May one, you don't have to worry about rusting. 420J is extremely rust resistant. Terrible at holding edges, but it's extremely tough and extremely rust resistant. Whereas 3V is more like D2, where you got to be careful if you don't want it to get rusty. It's not like 1095 or one of the other high carbon steels. This one's more like a semi-stainless steel, more like a D2. Because I've seen videos of people leaving these out for a whole year, and they got a little bit of surface rust on them, they just buffed it out, and it looked like brand new again. So it doesn't get like all pitted or whatever. It's like surface rust that you can repair. These are awesome, people. These are awesome. Highly recommend them. Highly recommend them. Awesome blades. Awesome blades. I feel like I'm in a video game, people. I feel like these are video game knives. These are like the ones I use, like in, you know, my Skyrim adventures. All right, people. Well, that's about it. Hope everybody's doing good out there. My heart goes out to those in Florida. I hope that everybody in Florida, you know, is going to be okay. I know a lot of people lost their homes. A lot of people lost their homes. Like Ian, I don't know why they say Ian. Why do they call it Ian? It's spelled Ian, I-A-N, like Brian, Ian. It's not, you don't pronounce Ian. I mean I-A-N and Brian like Brian. But anyway, Hurricane Ian was a monster. That was a monster. The people in Florida, I feel for them. And I was complaining about the heat in our part of the world, where, you know, we were getting this crazy ass heat wave. Excuse my French, crazy heat wave this past month. You know, 116 degrees, and it just got madness in California, and Death Valley got to what, 124 or 126 or something like that. But I'd rather deal with that than have to deal with the hurricane. The hurricane, that was like, what do you do in a hurricane? When a hurricane comes, you know, there's a surge that's 17 feet, 18 feet high of ocean water coming at you. What are you going to do? Hope you survive. That's all you can do. So I feel for those people. They went through something that I hope nobody ever has to go through. And a lot of people lost their total homes, and in Florida, it's my understanding, it's hard to get flood insurance and things like that. So a lot of those people don't even have insurance. They just lost everything. And it was thousands and thousands of people, not just a few people. It was thousands of whole cities and things got wiped out. That's a mess. And it's not just Florida either. It's Puerto Rico, it's South Carolina, I and Ian went everywhere in that area, the Caribbean area, whatever you want to call it, and destroying things. So there's a lot of damage. One thing about that though, it's like I wonder why people keep buying those mobile homes though, because like every they've had like about 17 major hurricanes in Florida since like 1992. 17 since 1992, and people still buy those mobile homes after the hurricane. Anyway, I hope everybody's doing good out there. Peace out, Stiletto. I'm glad my buddy Shade Tree Surgeon is doing good. He's doing good. Shade Tree put out a video today. If you like to watch him, and I like to watch his point of view on things and stuff. I think he's a lot of fun. But anyway, peace out, Stiletto.